Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Data Playbook. Today we have our Week 15 Sunday games, and unfortunately I didn't get all the changes that I wanted to in for today, but we'll just stick with our regular data, so let's get right to it. For our next game, we have an NFC Divisional South matchup with Carolina and New Orleans, where Carolina is favored on the money line with a spread of 2.5 and a total line of 40.5. And flipped over to your team's seasonal averages, along with looking at their rankings, you have Carolina with about a below average offense with a scoring rank of 28, a passing rank of 24, their best ranking of rushing at 10, and then a tight end rank of 28. Defensively, it's much more closer to average with a allowed scoring rank of 16, allowed passing rank of 16, allowed rushing rank of 17, and then an allowed tight end rank of 27. For New Orleans, you have also a pretty bad offense with a scoring rank of 30, a passing rank of 19, a rushing rank of 28, and then their best ranking at the tight end spot at 9. Defensively, it's a little mixed, but probably below average, with an allowed scoring rank of 20, their best rank of an allowed passing rank of 6, an allowed rushing rank of 24, and an allowed tight end rank of 18. Getting into the individual data, and starting with your quarterbacks, you have Bryce Young and Tyler Show. Young averaging 13.3 fantasy points per game, and Show averaging 11.3. Moved over for your seasonal averages. Along with their turnovers, you get Bryce Young with 9 interceptions this season, and 2 fumbles lost due to sacks, as well as 2 additional rushing fumbles. For Tyler Show, you have 5 interceptions this season, with 1 fumble lost due to a sack and 1 additional rushing fumble. Looking at their rushing impact, you have Bryce Young with about 9% of the rushing carry share for his team, and about 7.7% of the rushing yards share, and about 7.7% of the total rushing yards this season. For Tyler Show, he's at about 8.7% of the rushing carry share, and about 9% of the rushing yards for his team. Next up for your running backs, you have Rico Dowdle and Devin Neal because Alvin Kamara is listed as out. Rico Dowdle averages 14.1 fantasy points per game, and Neal's been averaging 6.2. It's moved over to their seasonal averages and their week-by-week breakdown if you need that. So go ahead and pause the video because we'll move right into the charts since neither of them have any turnovers to talk about. And looking at their share, you get Dowdle with 54.1% of the rushing carry share and 58.9% of the rushing yard share. And then for Devin Neal, you're at 15.5% of the rushing carry share and about 15% of the rushing yard share. Moving into our receivers, you have Tetaroa McMillan and Chris Olave, with McMillan averaging 13.5 fantasy points per game and Olave at 14.2. There's their averages, and the only turnover is a 1 interception from Olave. Looking at their share, you have McMillan with 27.2% of the target share and 32.9% of the receiving yard share, and that is by far the largest of anybody else on the team. And very similar story for Olave, with even more of the share at 41.4% of the target share and 41.9% of the receiving yard share. For your next receivers, you have Xavier Legette and Devon Vele, with Legette averaging 6.8 fantasy points per game and Vele with the exact same 6.8. Moving over for your averages, and there's been no turnovers, so I'll go straight into the charts, where you have Legette with 14.7% of the target share and 11.5% of the receiving yard share, which does make him the second most productive receiver for the Panthers. And then you have Devon Vele with 11.4% of the target share and 11.6% of the receiving yard share. Finally, for the tight ends, you have Tommy Tremble and Juwan Johnson. Tremble averaging 4 fantasy points per game, and Juwan Johnson averaging about 10.4. There's their seasonal averages, and there's only 1 turnover between the two of them this season, and that's from Juwan Johnson. Moving into the share, you have Tremble at 7.5% of the target share and about 7.4% of the receiving yard share, and you have Juwan Johnson at 27.6% of the target share and about 31.7% of the receiving yard share, which makes him the second most productive receiver on the Saints. That wraps up all the data for this game. There's a lot of different ways I think these two teams could play this, depending on how it works out. But it does seem like Carolina should favor their rushing rank against this allowed rushing rank of 24, especially because they should get shut down from this allowed passing rank of 6 against the passing rank of 24 here. And then vice versa, it's a little bit more just even, a little better passing rank for New Orleans, so maybe they try to lean on their passing rank. But New Orleans is just really almost the worst in the league at scoring, pretty bad at preventing people from scoring. So even with a really bad scoring rank here for Carolina, this allowed scoring rank of 16 against this 30, I think really locks it up for Carolina. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. And there's all your pregame data. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment on what else you'd want to see in the future. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.